Eh, eh, eh. It's another Rich Rod Jim alert. Charlie Hannafin is a West Virginia Mountaineer. What are the West Virginia Mountaineers getting in the 6'2 wide receiver? Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. We're talking Mountaineer football, recruiting, and the like. Going to be brought to you by, of course, FanDuel. And if you didn't know, now you know. FanDuel's doing it big right now. They always do, always have, really. If you want to do it big like FanDuel, make sure you place that first $5 bet at FanDuel.com to get started for your shot at $200 in bonus bets. But you have to win at FanDuel.com. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network where we talk about your team every single day. Mountaineers get another wide receiver commit in the class of 2026 in Charlie Hannafin. I think a late blooming receiver that is definitely interesting to watch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break him down. We're going to do the hot piss meter, the whole thing. And then we're going to watch some tape on the kid and see just what West Virginia has in him. It's Paul After Dark, baby. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. So this is my comprehensive breakdown on Charlie Hannafin. So this is my feeling on it from watching the tape, first of all. He's been recruited as a receiver. I would not be surprised to see him turn into an H-back or tight end type scenario. I haven't spoken with Charlie, did reach out to him. I haven't gotten back to him yet. But when I speak to him, I'm going to ask him what they plan for him. He's definitely not a speedster. That's the first thing. And I want to be clear, though. He's not slow, but he ain't a burner. Where he excels is in route running, absolutely. And he's also a very smart player. And he gets open with his head and his hips and his feet. You'll see why. Let's keep that in mind. So he's had a big growth spurt, it looks like, reported at some camps at 5'11". Last year, he's grown up to 6'2" now, and he still has some time left in school to go, another year. So you're talking about somebody, by the time he gets to campus, he could be 6'3", even 6'4", if he keeps growing. But as of now, he's 6'2", 184 pounds. That's good size. You know, if you gain enough muscle, you can be a H-back / tight end kind of receiving threat, or you either gain some speed, or you can be a slot guy. There's a bunch of different things you can do with a guy his size. You can still mismatch him against people. He's going to be bigger than most safeties. He's going to be stronger. He shows that on film. And you know, he had Boston College, Brown, Yale, New Hampshire, Richmond, Georgetown, and others. Not highly recruited. He's not. And we just did a video on this maybe an hour or 2 hours ago, about Rich Rodriguez and his ability to spot out players that are under recruited, get the most out of them in this culture, and they end up turning into very good players by the time they're ready to roll around. Usually they're 4-star, 5-star guys in college. So he has a family pedigree that I think is interesting. His older brother is a quarterback at Boston College, Shane Hannafin. He's got another older brother, Ronan Hannafin, who's a safety at Clemson that's transitioned over from wide receiver. So Charlie's had a front row seat to Power 4 football and the recruiting processes that are – he's not going to be fooled by some recruiting pitch. You know what I mean? His family's been through this multiple times. So very productive in high school. I think, you know, the strengths that I see on film when I watch him, and you'll see here in just a second, he runs crisp, really effective route runner. He gets open quite a bit on tape. And then if you look at some of the camp footage when he camped at West Virginia this past weekend. He destroyed guys, really. That's why he got this offer. This is all on the heels of camp performance. So camps are filled with kids like Charlie who are probably D1 athletes, but like low-level D1. And in some cases, they're under-recruited or they're more talented than people thought. Charlie plays in New Hampshire, or Massachusetts, I think. And so not the highest level of football in the country. So a lot of times, much like in West Virginia, you can have a really good player that gets overlooked because of the state they play ball in. A lot of times guys transfer. In this case, I think his lack of speed and where he played at in the country probably has a lot to do with this. But he's a good athlete. He's a very good athlete. Really strong hands. That's probably his best quality overall. Just incredible hands, especially in contested catch type situations. Really can high point the ball well. He wins a ton of jump balls, which is a trait that you're going to need for a wide receiver / tight end kind of role, which I'm projecting. Now, I don't know what they're going to do yet. I could be wrong. But, I mean, he's got the frame and the versatility at 6'2", 184 to play a power 4 receiver / tight end kind of role, right? One more inch. If he was 6'3", 225, you would say, yeah, that's a receiving tight end, right? So, I mean, he's literally an inch away from being what I would consider most people would say acceptable as a receiving tight end. 6'2", 225, 230, you can get it done. Absolutely. Especially if you're a good route runner. He is really tough to tackle post catch. I think it's probably between that and his hands are the two things that I think he does the best after the catch, gaining a lot of yards with being physical. And I think this toughness aligns with the role of H-back or tight end as well. And also with what Rich Rod likes in a hard edge kind of culture kind of player. He's not, like I said, he's not a speed guy, not really ranked high. There's limited, stuff out there on him. And I really do believe that he's a hidden gem based on the camp footage and the tape. He's one of those kids that could come in and really turn into something special, or he could live in the middle for his career. I'm not really sure where he's going to go yet. It's all really on him, I think. But you look, Coach Garrett was his lead recruiter, and Rich Rodriguez also talked about him and said he was really good in one-on-one drills and high pointing balls. Coach Garrett also noted his fit for West Virginia's offense. So that's going to be interesting. If you look at Scouting Northeast, I noticed he was on their profile. They said Hannafin has a unique combination of size and athleticism at tight end, possibly with strong, reliable hands and a difficult to tackle post catch. Hale, West Virginia also had something out on him earlier. It said his camp performance was head turning. Said he had a really hard edge mentality. Could be an ideal West Virginia Rodriguez recruit. If you look at the archive report, they talked about him as a standout performer and a credible route runner with competitive zeal. And so I think the general sentiment on Charlie is that he's a high upside versatile prospect with the frame for a big wide receiver or tight end, but given his speed limitations so far, we've got one video with him running about a 4.7. So, and I don't know when this was, but I think, he's had limited exposure, and that's affected his recruitment generally. And had his brothers not been Power 4 players, who's to know what would have ever happened to him? He would have probably had to go the FCS or even lower route. So this is going to be interesting. Like if you look at his camp performances, June 6th, he entered after he dominated drills, spoke to Rodriguez and Garrett post camp, who was impressed by them. And then the official visit this past 18th to 20th, which he should just got wrapped up today, basically sealed his commitment during the trip. He said he loved the family-oriented staff, facilities, and alignment with his values. chose West Virginia over Boston College and some others, which means he chose not to play with his brother. He's the second skill position kid in 26. So we'll see. We'll see. I think this is going to be an interesting pick. I think he's going to play tight end, guys. I really do. We'll see. But I think that's where he's going to end up at. West Virginia likes these undersized tight ends as well that can run around and do different things. So let's do a hot piss meter. Let me check the time on this. Yeah, we'll do a hot piss meter. We'll go to break and we'll watch the tape. For those of you that don't know, the hot piss meter simply is how we grade portal / recruits. And all it is it's basically the whole line about when Rich Rodriguez came back to West Virginia, somebody asked, can he still coach? And he said, he still pisses hot. Thus, the hot piss meter was born. Charlie Hannafin, enjoy your time on the hot piss meter. Athleticism, I've got that as 7 out of 10. I think he's got plus athleticism. He's just not really fast. And obviously, he stood out in one-on-one drills and in contested catch situations. He lacks elite speed, but he has a physicality for a wide receiver, big wide receiver, tight end. He's got a family pedigree that most people would kill to have. His receiving skills are an 8.9 out of 10. I think he has polished routes. He's got reliable hands, jump ball for days. He's a threat, and especially at tight end, I think that would enhance his red zone value due to that size and different things. So we'll see. Fit with West Virginia's offense is a 9 out of 10. He really is ideal for what they do. He is a versatile scheme fit for them. That's would be a pass catching big kid. He has tight end skills. He could also flex out at H-back or flex. And I think that fits perfectly with what Rich Rod's doing and what Coach Garrett wants out of a guy like him. So, and his camp performance has really proven he's a scheme match. Upside and development, I think he is a 9 out of 10 with that. He's 6'2". He's got a year to go before he's 18, I'm assuming, or he maybe even 17, who knows, with Power 4 family ties. All his brother played Power 4 ball. So it's in his body to be a great athlete. And West Virginia's kind of gotten in a little early here. This is typical for somebody to commit a year before their senior year, but could he grow another inch or two? And by the time he gets to West Virginia, he's 6'4", 200 pounds. It's possible, but worst case scenario, he's 6'2". It's pretty good. Immediate recruiting impact I've got at an 8 out of 10. I think, he's the second wide receiver commit, obviously, which strengthens our 26 class so far. But I think his versatility and early pledge show that West Virginia is serious about getting their guys. Doesn't matter your star rating. You don't have to be a headliner. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be what they're looking for a total hot piss meter score of 42.6 out of 50, just under elite status. I think he'll by the time as long as he sticks around, I don't project him to play early unless he grows a couple more inches before he comes. But let's say, redshirt freshman or sophomore year, I could see him finally getting in the mix and really gaining that experience. And by the time he's a junior, really be a very good player, and maybe even earlier. He's got ability. You'll see it here on tape, but I think he's going to end up being a possible steal. He's polished. He's versatile. He's dripping with upside. He had a dominant camp against really good players. He's got family pedigree. I think he's got positional and potential value as a flex or a tight end that could make him a future menace in Morgantown. So get ready to sing country roads for this kid in the future. I love an underdog, and I think that this is going to be an absolute fun one to cover. Let's go to break. On the other side, we'll talk about Charlie a little more. Watch the tape. What's it look like? Is he a gem or is he a bust? Let's talk about it next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by FanDuel right now. And if you didn't know, now you know. FanDuel's doing it big. We talk about that every time. The NBA playoffs are in full swing literally right now. I think it's game 7, or maybe it's tomorrow, but every night is delivered highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't miss moments, whether it's a game-winning shot, breakout player. There's never been a better time to get in on the action. And when FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. And look, if you need FanDuel for yourself, it's pretty simple. If you're new, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head over to FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet, and if it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets, but that's only if you win. Head over to FanDuel, make everyone more FanDuel, which is an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. It's segment 2. Let's crack a do. It's a code red do. And why is it a code red do? Because we've got recruiting news, obviously, with Charlie as the newest West Virginia recruit. Welcome in, Charlie. Let's watch the tape, as we so love to do, Charlie Hannafin. Okay, let's get over here to it. This is his junior year film. 6'2", 185-pound wide receiver / defensive back. And it is impressive tape. Let's go. All right, here he is at the top of your screen. Really nice little route, but here he is after the catch is where he does his work on this play, as you can see. And he's got some cut ability as well, by the way. See is there as he cuts back into the inside. He runs all the way across the field with the ball in his hands. Nice, nice, nice. Here he is again, the same kind of play. And watch the strength. Just push guys around. He spins off all these tacklers, cuts open past the guy, and gets to the end zone. He shouldn't have scored there. Here he is again on the bubble. They've got him. And oh no, I'm sorry. He's running. Let's rewind that. Let me see if I'm wrong. What just happened? So okay, here he is up here, running a post, wide open. So this is simply they schemed him open with that, and as you can see, not elite burner speed or anything like that, but I mean the strength to push a guy off at the end. At tight end, you could see he could be really dangerous if he gained some more weight. Here he is again. Boom, one-handed catch. Nicely done there. He is again at receiver. They just throw it out to him and just let him do work. You know, that's the game plan. Just flip it out to him and let him do work. And that's what he's doing. Here he is up top here. And they roll towards him. And, oh, that's wide open. Yeah. That's just a busted coverage, wide open touchdown. There he is playing some defense. They've got a little corner stuff in here on him from time to time. Here he is playing receiver again. Beautiful release. And look at that route, guys. This is when we talk about the potential for this kid. This is exactly the play I would look to say, you know, as a tight end especially, you put this kid on a linebacker at 225, he probably loses very little, if any, speed or explosiveness, and he's going to be stronger. Watch the quick release when he cuts out and gets that release. All a release is, in case you don't know, a release is when a receiver, a lot of times corners will try to prevent whichever way a receiver is releasing, whether it's to the right or to the left, depends on the route, where they call it inside or outside. You know, but if it's in this case, it's an outside release. So, you know, what a lot of times the corner will try to do is, you know, either ride him out of bounds or, you know, just try to reroute him in some way or shape or form. But this release is so clean that it's pretty hard for this kid to get a feel on him. And then the quick hips to flip towards the ball at the very end is chef's kiss beautiful. Watch this route by Charlie Hannafin. Nice. And then a quick flip. That's really good job. Not easy work to do. Oops. Here he is up top again, and just a beautiful release once again, and a one-handed catch. Insane, really. So watch him chop his speed here. If you can see it, he gives a little chop, 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 release, and then over the top one-handed catch. And this is that contested catch situations that we keep talking about with Charlie. Here he is down below, and as you can see here, he got on his horse a little bit there and a post. Nicely done. He's open for 5 miles. They finally get the ball to him. Let's watch that again. He's not, like I said, I don't mean to keep bringing it up. I'm sure Charlie don't like it to hear this, but I don't keep trying to harp on this. He's not a burner thing, but look at him here. Watch the technique with run. He's got great technique as a runner. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't run track or something. Watch the arms, watch the legs, and watch him get down the field on this one. Now he really looks like he's moving on this one. I mean, that's not slow, right? I wouldn't consider that slow. It's definitely not blazing fast. And he's just such a good technical route runner that he's going to, Jerry Rice ran a 4.5. It's very well known, which is fast, by the way. It's not slow, but it's not a burner speed. It's not Tyreek Hill, right? So, a lot of times you just have to have, first of all, you have to know where the ball's going. You have to know what the coverage is. You have to know right on the field you would help most. Here he is in punt return, it looks like, as a blocker. So they're showing some blocking. Yeah. So he's blocking somebody here. He's driving this guy all the way down the field. Still with him, 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 still with him. He blocked that guy for 40 yards. That's exactly what you like. Here he's playing DB again. You can still learn about these guys as they play DB. Good job, Played a really good, solid DB there. Okay, back at receiver again, bottom of your screen, and just so we'll go back here. This team is in zone coverage, so all he's doing is finding the soft spot in the zone, which is right about where this referee is, right behind the ref. You find the soft spot, you settle in, watch him settle in the hole in the zone. He gets the ball, and then he does work after the catch. Simple stuff. It's exactly what he'll be doing at the Power 4 level as well. And as you can see, nice athlete, very quick to move towards the ball. Once again at corner, and a nice play on the ball. So he's got the length and athleticism there too. Here is back at receiver, and just a quick flip out to him. And yeah, nice to see. Back on defense again, looks like. Yep. And a nice tackle on the ball. Back at, I wish they would have separated these since he's not going to be DB. But like I said, you can still learn things about guys, even if they're not playing the position they're going to play. Do they play hard? Do they play with toughness? That kind of thing. Back here at safety or wherever he's at. And another good tackle. His brother got moved from wide receiver to safety at Clemson. Here he is back at wide receiver again. And looks like, another great route. For a kid his size, he's just so smooth. Watch him drop the hips. Watch the hips here. As he gets down to make you obviously have to squat to do anything as a receiver, whether that's a cut or a move. A lot of times guys will drop their hips. He drops his hips well here and cuts out. But, what's great about this is because he's using his hips, he could easily pull a double move out of this really easily, rather than guys that use their knees or legs to do it. You'll see. Nicely done. It's nothing major, but it's just a simple thing that I look at. Back at receiver once again, and just a really good route. I mean, I'm not saying it's like I said, it's just a crisp route. Just show the quarterback your face and get the ball. That's all you got to do. So Charlie Hannafin, a kid that I think has got a lot of potential for us guys. And Is he going to headline this class? No, he's not going to headline the class. Do I think he's got a potential to be a really good player in a couple of years? I absolutely do. That route was really cool, but it's a block. Wow. Driving that kid all the way down. Really quick, what we'll do is we'll go to break really quick, 6 seconds, and then on the other side, we'll show you one of his camp catches that have people buzzing. All right, we are back here, Locked On West Virginia. Thanks, you guys, for joining in as we check out Charlie Hannafin in a drill today. Number 78, he was right here. And this is a drill that I don't know if this was to end practice or what, but as you can see, literally everybody in the building wants to see this. I asked around. Apparently, these were two of the top performers of the day. And it was like the winner got some kind of perk. I can't remember exactly what it was. Maybe it says it right here. Oh, it was tied 9-9. That's what it was. Ryan Garrett. Yep. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Let's see what happened.
I got ball. I got it. We don't lose. Go get it.
A high point ball. I love that. Did you see him drop his hips on him? Just talking about this. So he's not going to outrun him. The kid's staying right in the phase. But this move right here, drop the hips and go. And it just made just enough space. And watch him high point this ball. I mean, good defense by the kid. We'll take it. And that got him an offer.
I got ball. I got it.
That got him an offer. Pretty cool stuff.
We don't lose. Go get it.
That's pretty cool, man. I like to see that. Here he is here. Pretty cool with Coach Bicknell. And here are some of his recruiting pictures. So nice to see, man. Welcome, Charlie. Hopefully this video did you some justice, man. And pretty cool. You go from being offered by Dartmouth, Bucknell, and Elon and Richmond and Stony Brook to West Virginia. Not bad day at the office, if I say so myself. All right, so that's all I got, guys. I just wanted to show Charlie off and cover this receiver that's committed to West Virginia. So thank you guys so much for being here. Absolutely don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and hey, look, like I said, I don't remember what I was going to say. I think it was subscribe, like, share the video out. If you're watching on X or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can actually click the share button down below, copy and paste the link, and then just paste it into Facebook or X or somewhere like that. Do that for me, like 5 or 6 of y'all. Dylan, make sure they do it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Discord link is in the chat, I believe. This has been an episode of Locked On West Virginia, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you check out the Portal Report. Next, Brian Smith does an amazing job over there on YouTube at the Portal for Locked On Portal. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.